Open your cupboard and your fridge, grab your ingredients, and let's make this recipe. Welcome each and everyone. Today, I'm gonna show you how to make Jamaican jerk chicken easy oven recipe. If you live in an apartment, this recipe is for you. Even your neighbor gonna ask for this recipe. My name is Chef Andre Henry, and you're watching Chef Henry Kitchen. I'm gonna go over all of the ingredients. The star of the show is chicken legs. I am using 4 pounds of chicken legs, and I wash and clean the chicken leg using vinegar. And if you want to see how I wash meat inside the kitchen, you can go check out one of my chicken videos that I already posted. Pimento. You cannot make jerk chicken without pimentos. So I'm using 2 tablespoons of pimento berry. And allspice is the grounded farm for pimento berry. 1 large onion, thyme, oregano leaves, green onion / scallion. I'm using 6 cloves of garlic. And all of these I'm going to use to make the marinade sauce with the pimento berry. And for the seasoning, I'm using a tablespoon of meat seasoning, a tablespoon of all-purpose seasoning, a tablespoon of chicken seasoning, and a tablespoon of seasoned salt, a teaspoon of onion powder, and a teaspoon of garlic powder, and browning for coloring. And I have gloves on. I'm going to start making the marinade sauce, and that's the important sauce that we're going to use. I have my blender set up, so I'm going to chop the onion. And I'm going to add it into the blender. Green onion. Just 1 cut down the middle. Thyme and the oregano leaves, and also the garlics, pimento berry, and we're gonna add browning. I'm using a tablespoon to measure the browning. And we're gonna use just 2 tablespoons of browning. If it need more, you can always add. I'm gonna cover and I'm gonna start blend. I'm going to open. I'm going to add 1/4 cup of water. Now I'm going to add some of the seasoning. Now the blending is complete, and this is what the jerk marinade should look like. Now for the chicken, I'm gonna cut into the chicken. It's like this. Just create some pockets, and also I'm gonna remove this part of the chicken. You want the chicken cut just like this. And I'm gonna add them back into the bowl. And this is what the chicken should look like. I'm gonna apply the dry rub. So we're gonna add some of the seasoning, just like that. You wanna get all the pieces. You want to get all the chicken, pat it down just like this, so you get the season all over. So we get it under the pockets. Now I'm gonna add the marinade sauce. You wanna get the chicken coated with marinade sauce, just like this. You wanna get everywhere coated on the chicken. And you don't wanna keep stirring in the marinade sauce because it will bring tears of joy. And that's how you know that the chicken is well seasoned. Now I get all the chicken seasoned and soak it in marinated sauce. I'm gonna cover with aluminum foil. I'm gonna place it in the fridge to marinate for a few hours. I have my baking tray, and this is what I'm gonna use to jerk the chicken inside the oven. I have more ingredients to add to the baking tray. I'm gonna add 2 tablespoons of pimento berry, and it's not gonna add to the chicken, into the baking tray. All the juices from the chicken that's gonna fall into the tray. You're gonna develop aroma with that pimento berry, and it's gonna go right back into the chicken. I added half a cup of water into the blender to get that leftover marinade sauce. I'm gonna add it into the baking tray. And I remove my chicken from the fridge that I let marinate for a few hours. And I'm gonna add the chicken onto the baking tray. And the leftover marinade sauce, I'm gonna add some into the bottom of the tray. And you wanna get some on the chicken as well. And the rest, I'm gonna add a little water inside it, and I'm gonna make it come to a boil. And I'm gonna use that to coat the chicken inside the oven. The tray is ready, and I have the oven preheated at 350 degrees. Now that the oven is finished preheating, I'm gonna add the chicken inside the oven, and we're gonna go top shelf. And you wanna come and check in 15 minutes time. We're gonna cover with aluminum foil to steam the chicken. And this chicken We're gonna do it for an hour and a half inside the oven. I have my oven mitts on, I have my tongs, and I'm gonna check on the chicken. And as you can see, the chicken start to catch color. Now I'm gonna cover with aluminum foil. I'm gonna see if I have good eye measurement. And you have to work with it fast. Remember, it's still hot. So now, with the aluminum foil, we're gonna give it 30 minutes. Then we're gonna come back and check on the chicken. So I have the leftover seasoning in the bowl. I'm gonna put it on the stove and I'll let it come to a boil. And the reason for boiling this, you don't wanna put any sauce the meat seasoned up into. You don't want to add it to meat that's cooking. You want to get it boiled so you kill all of that bacteria that's inside there. And this is a tip that you need to know. I'm going to shut the stove off and I'm going to shift it from the heat. Now I'm going to check on the chicken and I'm going to remove the aluminum foil. Now I'm gonna dip the chicken and I'm gonna use my baster. I want to get all the pieces. I'm jerking the chicken inside the oven for an hour and a half. 45 minutes is gone because we do a 15 minutes and a 30 minutes. So that's 45 minutes. For the remaining 45 minutes, we're gonna come back 2 times and we're gonna repeat the coating process again. I have my mitts on and I'm gonna check on the chicken. And I'm gonna coat them again. This is much easier using a baster to coat the chicken. I'm gonna come back in 10 minutes and this time I'm gonna coat them from what inside the tray. It's been 10 minutes and I'm gonna check on the chicken. Now we're gonna coat them from the liquid inside the oven. Now the coating is complete. So we're gonna coat them in 10 minutes. I have the oven mitts on and I'm gonna check on the chicken. The chicken, guys, they have the right color. And I'm gonna baste them again. You want to get them based real good. And this is gonna help the chicken to be moist. And I'm gonna come back and check in 10 minutes. Now I'm gonna check on the chicken. Move them around now. 5 minutes remaining. So what I'm gonna do for the 5 minutes, I'm gonna switch my oven over and I'm gonna let them broil for 5 minutes. So we're doing a low broil just to get that crispiness on the skin. Now I'm gonna check on the chicken and I'm gonna shut the oven off. This is what my chicken look like, nicely colored. I'm gonna remove the chicken from the oven and I will see you all for the taste test. Now I have my jerk chicken, and guys, check this out. Nicely plated. And I have some on the cutting board and I'm going to go in and I'm going to try a piece of this oven jerk chicken. Oh, wow. All the flavor from that pimento berry and all of that jerk marinade that I put on here. I tell you, your neighbor would ask you for this recipe, and they will. After smelling what coming out of your house, jerk chicken using your oven, and it's the same as using a barbecue. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and see you on the next one.